Hey everybody, this is Darren from FlatStomachSixPackAbs.com. Today we're going to go ahead and work on a modified plank, and it's called the side plank. One of our other videos we worked on the plank, which focuses on the stabilizer muscles that are actually behind your abs, but today we're actually going to work on the outside of those stabilizer muscles, so that way your obliques and the outer portion of your abs will have more definition and stick out more. This is a great way for both men and women if they want to go ahead and tone up their stomach. So as they go ahead and do their workouts, they can actually go ahead and have a really tight stomach compared to just having abs that sort of hang there. So let's get started. The side plank is actually harder than the regular plank because doing a plank as usual requires you to have both of your arms and both of your feet touching the ground. This gives you 4 points of contact to balance on. When you're doing a side plank, you only have your left or right arm, depending on the side you're on, and one shoe. Now, if you are a beginner and have some difficulty doing this, you can actually put your top foot slightly in front of you, which will allow you to go ahead and give yourself some more balance. But basically for this routine, what you're going to go ahead and do is your arm is going to be at a 90-degree angle to the floor, where from your elbow down to your hand is all touching along the floor. Your feet are going to be on top of each other like so, and your hand is going to go right above your hip. You never want to put your hand directly on a hip bone or any other type of joint, because that's putting pressure in the wrong spot. So go ahead and either put it up a little higher or a little lower to wherever you find comfort. So once you're here, you're simply going to go ahead and lift up. Notice the straight line that the body makes, and this is where the term plank comes from, and since we're on our side, it's a side plank. So in this straight line, your goal is to hold it for about 30 seconds or a maximum of a minute. But you also need to realize that during this position, you need to have your abs flexed. If you just let them stay here and your abs are relaxed, you're going to be putting pressure on your rib cage down here, and that's going to, it could cause injury, but more likely it's going to cause unnecessary soreness later. So when you're in this position, start off by having your abs flexed, so go ahead and crunch them down, and then go ahead and lift up, and you'll feel that the tension will move from here to here, and you'll hold it for 30 seconds, preferably a minute, and you want to do at least 4 sets. So, the other thing is, if you want to go ahead and actually increase the difficulty of this exercise, you can go ahead and lift your arm and your leg up into the air, which will require more balance. So, if you're in this position and you go ahead and go up, you'll go ahead and stick your arm straight up in the air like this, and then lift up your leg. This puts all of the balance on these 2 points and requires your abs to stay flexed. If your abs aren't strong enough to do this, then just go ahead and stay at this position. If you're wanting to advance up, you can actually start this position, and as your abs give out, you can go ahead and come down into this position until you actually go ahead and go down into the rest position. Now we'll go ahead and do this on the other side. Of course, it's the same thing. Feet on top of each other, and like I said, for beginners you can put your foot on top for more of a base there, but otherwise keep them right on top of each other here. Your arms at a 90-degree angle right underneath your shoulder, and your hand is here just above your hip. And then you'll go ahead and go up, keep it in the plank for preferably 30 seconds, a minute tops, and like we said, 4 sets, and you'll go ahead and go back down. Now if you're finding difficulty doing this, or you actually want to do it in the rep form, there is sort of a rep form of a side rep. And what you'll do is, instead of this hand being on your hip, you're actually going to move it to your lower side of your rib cage. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to come up, but you're actually going to go a little farther to create a small arch here. And this is going to basically contract this entire muscle and force your V-cut as well to be flexed. And then you'll go ahead and go back down. And you can do basically 4 sets of 15. Usually you want to do about 4 sets of 15 for any type of these side abdominal exercises, but you can start off doing 2 sets of 12 or whatever fits your style until you work your way up to it. The other point you need to be aware of is that when you do this, don't pull. As you get tired, of course more of your muscle in your body is going to go ahead and try to keep doing this exercise, which means that the focus is going to go away from your abs. So what you need to do is, when you're up and pulling yourself up like this, remember you're using your abs. As you get tired, you're going to actually start pulling with your arm to try to help you get up, and instead this is going to put pain on your lower spine here as well as your rib cage. So remember, when you're doing this, a great tip of advice is to look straight forward to where you're going, And then just lift up your hips as high as they can, and then go back down. And you'll do 15. Alright, so that's how you do the side plank. Now keep in mind that you still want to do the regular plank as well, so that way you're targeting your entire abdominal area. Also, remember to go ahead and do these exercises at the end of your workout. They're sort of like the icing on the cake. You want to go ahead and basically do them at the end, so that way your muscles are reaching their final fatigue point. That way, in between your workouts, your muscles are going to have that much more to rebuild, which in turn will create a tighter stomach and better looking abdominals for your future as you lose weight. This is Darren from FlatStomach6PackAbs.com. Your dream body starts here.